Let's just dive right in, man. I like to kind of usually go in a chronological order, so we'll start at the beginning. But you, like I said, interned at sales and trading at Morgan Stanley for your junior summer, and then you started full time in investment banking at Lehman Brothers after you graduated. So a lot of students today, kind of that we talk to, they debate kind of going down the sales and trading path versus the investment banking path. Having done both, like how would you compare the two? And then also, obviously, in the end, you decided to switch from sales and trading over to investment banking. So can you kind of talk about what led to that decision and how you thought about it?
Yeah, for sure. Take you back in college. I knew pretty early on I wanted to do a career in finance. Like I thought that's where my skill sets were, was my interests were. And there's something about the allure of it. Part of it's, bluntly, but it is compensation related when you're like a young kid in college and you're like, hey, where can I make money where I don't feel like it's gonna be really tough for the next couple of years?
Yeah.
And so, I had the chance to have a couple of different flavors earlier on, and then even during college, before the trading internship, I also interned at a boutique investment bank called Financial Technology Partners. I'm sure many people on the call are going to be familiar with that one,
Oh, yeah.
especially on the West Coast. So how do I think about the two, and why did I choose? Especially making the leap from one to another. I looked at my junior years like getting exposure into the career of finance. I didn't really know, like I had a little bit of a taste from FT Partners. There was an opportunity that presented itself on the sales and trading side, particular on the West Coast, working on the muni desk. And for everyone in the room, munis are selling and working around municipal bonds, which is a popular thing both on the both coasts, but there happened to be a pretty big sizable presence in the San Francisco regions. Had an opportunity to get close to the team there, and in particular working on more of the sales side. You have to be more licensed, be working on obviously the trading side, as much as that has a lot of the lure as well. But
Right.
I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed working with the team. They're very collaborative, being just kind of in an action-packed environment. That being said, it is very consistent. You wake up every day, you look at your book, you look at you look at your clients, and you're trying to work the book in a similar fashion. It somewhat gets a little bit repeatable. It's still very exciting, and you're very markets driven. You're reading all the materials. Like I believe it was the Bond King is, you might know his name, Bill Gross,
Mm.
back when he was running PIMCO. Like you just get into the throes of the world. You start to see all the chats on Bloomberg, and like there's just a lot of liveliness, very high energy, but again, very repetitive.
Yeah.
So for me, as much as I thought it was interesting, it felt like it started to feel like at some point it would plateau on that level of interest.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be like this endless, research and need and continued learning that I think I started to appreciate later on that I naturally gravitate and thrive around. The other part too, just to be really blunt about it, the hours are tough. I would wake up at like 4 in the morning,
Wow.
and you can imagine as a college student who is considered traditionally a night owl,
Yeah.
waking up at 4 in the morning is really counterintuitive to my own body and rhythm. And to give
Yeah.
you a sense, when I would wake up on a Thursday, college students would still be out partying. So you're getting ready, all dressed up, getting ready to get onto the BART at 4, while meanwhile everyone is like stumbling in on the streets trying to find their way home. And it felt kind of this reaction like, wow, there's this different lifestyle that I'm going to have to appreciate and adjust to. That's going to be different from everyone else. And so you'd finish your day around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, which is great too. Like it's an open day. You can do a lot of other stuff, but I don't know. That was a big commitment. I didn't feel like was right for what I wanted to do longer term.
Is that because that desk you said, I think you said this earlier, but that was on the West Coast and not the East Coast? Is that why?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. So you're working much more, you're still working New York hours on the West Coast. So maybe if you're in New York, it's going to be more of a natural rhythm.
Yeah.
Whereas 4 a.m. to 2 and then some, maybe 2 or 3, you're shifting earlier. You're going to sleep at like 8 so you can wake up at 4. So again, it didn't feel as natural for what I wanted to do. And there's almost this allure. And look, I think if you're still trading in New York, there may be much more of you know, there's much more of a community that feels very unique. West Coast sales and trading is very siloed, it's very satellite. So you don't have this gravity that you would normally see. Whereas in investment banking, man, it's just hard to describe where like it's actually kind of the opposite, especially if you're in tech or if you're in healthcare, especially biotech. And so there's this gravity being in the peninsula, and I'm sure preaching to the choir for everyone in the room. If you're thinking about going to a career in tech banking, like, I mean, I'll go on a whim, and I'm sure I'm going to get some angry emails after this. But like, if you're doing tech banking, it's here. It's not New York. I get
Yeah.
some New York has some cachets with some other industries, but like,
Yeah.
in my opinion, the best West Coast team or the best tech teams are all in the Bay Area for a reason.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. Yeah, for sure. Gotcha. So basically, okay. So then you decided to move into banking for those reasons. And then you go to Lehman Brothers, right? For full time. And you go into the healthcare group, right? Or did you go to the tech group? Okay,
No,
cool.
I wanted healthcare, or sorry, I wanted tech. As people will find out when they go through the process, sometimes you don't get your first choice. You get, whatever team selects you and really likes, and you have like, natural affinity. And
Yeah.
so, the healthcare team, like, I actually was great too for me. I really liked the team there. And they were working on some pretty sizable opportunities at the time where I'm like, hey, this is really interesting. Was even more interesting. Like, I'd be more in San Francisco versus Menlo Park. So there's a little bit as a college student, you're like, oh, do I want to be in slow and steady Menlo Park, or like, hey, be in the city and working in
Yeah.
555? Like, that was kind of cool as a concept back then. I got along with the team and was very, very lucky and fortunate to have been selected in Lehman Brothers, which at the time I thought had a great reputation. I think it was a $30 billion market cap company, great presence and all that. And
Yeah.
also just like the team, like, I had friends in Lehman, but I was just like, oh, like, I don't know. You just go where your friends are too. And you're like, this just feels great. Like, it feels like the right culture fit, kind of like college. Like, this
Yeah.
just feels like a good culture fit.